Hello goons and goonettes. Today's topic is on the biggest glow up in One Piece. Now you could be thinking in that noggin of yours that the biggest glow up in One Piece could possibly belong to characters such as Avida or Shanks. I mean, for God's sakes, every time Shanks pops up on the screen for a couple of panels, he looks even more and more like a Calvin Klein model. And while Alvida's glow up was surely impressive, it's just a little convenient result of her slip fruit basically having all that extra fat and ugliness slip away, which, yeah, totally Oda, that makes complete 100% sense as per usual. But this was a side effect of her gaining a devil fruit power, not so much of a glow up. As Avida was already quite mature when she ate her fruit, I don't imagine she would have gotten that beautiful without it. With all that being said though, the biggest and best glow up of One Piece history has got to be Koby. Koby, you say? Well, what's so special about Koby, Gannon? Well, random, miscellaneous, and fairly interrogative person, I don't know if you've watched One Piece in its entirety or not, but Koby has been there from the very beginning. In the anime, at least. Koby has got to be pretty much the oldest active character in One Piece besides Luffy and Avida. I mean, damn, Koby is an older character than even Nami or Zoro or any of the other Straw Hats. He was there before all of them. And let me reiterate again, I mean in the anime, since I'm pretty sure the manga starts off with Romance Dawn. Koby went from this useless, scrawny, enslaved, pathetic cabin boy to a damn hyper jock protege marine captain of his own ship. Like, this has got to be some of the most crazy progression I've seen from a supporting side character, like, ever. Koby went from a very small and wimpy boy that honestly, if you asked me, looked a lot younger than 16. Koby at his introduction was 16 and is now currently 18 in the story. I mean, way younger. At Koby's introduction, he looks like he could realistically be a 12-year-old. I don't know how tall Koby was at his original introduction in Shellstown, but he has definitely grown a ton since then, appearing only slightly taller than half of Luffy's size. Then when we meet Koby again in Water 7, he's his official listed height of 5'6", and you can tell this on screen by the fact that he's slightly shorter standing next to Luffy, who was almost 5'8" at the time. Koby's appearance has changed dramatically 3 times during the series. His first appearance being his kiddie one at Shellstown, then followed by his slight venture into puberty with his appearance at Water 7, this time sporting a Marine Adidas tracksuit jacket inspired by his striped shirt from Shellstown. He's now sporting his glasses on top of his head, over top a brightly colored bandana because apparently he's gotten contact lenses now, with another matte bandana wrapped around his neck. By this point in the story, Koby has drank in some of the shonen training Kool-Aid and has gotten quite stronger and even has a sick scar on his forehead. And because all us anime fans know that the only thing a character needs to get strong in an anime is just to be trained by an already existing old and wise badass, in this case, Garp trained the shit out of Koby from a worthless child into a 6 powers wielding slightly competent Koby. This Koby is quickly outmatched by the fighting prowess of Luffy upon them reuniting at Water 7, but the fact that Koby is a trained fighter who's got the balls to square up with Luffy impressed me at the time, and seeing Koby in the company of Garp like that actually got me really excited and made me think long and hard about what they had in store for this character. And boy, oh boy, did they have a bunch of things in store for Koby, because now in the current story, Koby went from a chief petty officer at Water 7 to a Giga Chad captain of his own ship. Koby went from a nobody to being one of the only 3 cool Marine captains, and on top of this, Koby has gotten an even cooler look, now sporting the cool thick Marine coat with a different colored and even cooler looking bandana set. He's got this metal pin to him that I assume he probably received from this weirdly mysterious incident referred to as the Rocky Port incident. We only know of this incident because it was mentioned by Kiros, and literally all we know about it is that Law instigated it and that Koby was there to save a lot of people. It was given the title of a hero. Other than that, we have actually 0 details. So yeah, Koby has grown a lot through the years in the looks department, but how much stronger has this guy gotten? how much of a strength glow up did Koby get? To be real with you, almost half of Koby's current feats in the story aren't even canon, and there just really aren't that many feats to begin with, but I can just feel it in my freaking bones that this dude is a tough cookie. Like, he is really strong. Perhaps inexperienced fighting real opponents who have the intent to kill, like Luffy has, but considering this dude has been personally trained and punched many times by the legendary marine hero Garp, I think the only people who could compete with Koby right now in the Marines are the Vice Admirals, and of course the Admirals could smoke Koby. I think anyone under this rank can consider themselves beaten, ex-Drake not really included because, you know, his current standing in the Marines is shaky at best, and I even think Koby could honestly beat a handful of the Vice Admirals, and yes, that definitely 1000% includes Smoker. If you think Smoker is actually beating Koby in a 1v1 fight to the death, you're honestly kind of fried as hell. Like, super fried. What evidence do I have to say this? I mean, admittedly, not much. Koby has been seen to have strength and agility that surpasses a freaking torpedo in water. That is definitely his biggest and most recent feat, which is kind of insane. That's Sanji level strength and speed in the water. I mean, man is definitely faster and stronger than any fish I've seen in One Piece, but really that's about it. Besides the fact that he's been brutally trained by Garp, the legend, and has posted up with Luffy in Water 7, those are really all his canon on-screen combat feats. He destroyed this giant wheel in this episode of Luffy, but that can't really be completely canon. Things like that usually aren't, but I would still like to think that it is quite realistic to assume Koby is capable of something like that, and probably easily something bigger than that. I'd like to think that Koby by this point has meta-human strength that surpasses everyone except the top tiers in the Marines, and he's also got to have mastered the 6 powers by now at least. And if I were to present some characters where I feel like Koby is around right now from a power scaling perspective, I have to say that he's around the Vice Admirals, maybe even Kaku, and he's definitely above Smoker type level. And while I know that that is an extremely vague kind of power scaling analysis, you're just gonna have to be happy with that. I'm sorry, that's the best I could do right now. And so in conclusion, Koby is an awesome character that's grown so much and has been there virtually from the beginning before so many other important characters, and has just been there for some of the most important moments of One Piece. The introduction, saving Luffy in the tide of history at Marineford, and even just showing up and meeting some important key figures at the Reverie. So there's gotta be just so much more in store for Koby, and I am so looking forward to it. But with all that being said, what do you guys think about Koby? Where do you think he's heading in the story? How strong do you think he is? Leave that down in the comments below. If you have any questions or you want to see anything specific, also leave that down in the comments below. I will be sure to get back to you. If you're enjoying any of the content that you see on the channel, I'd be very flattered if you were to subscribe and hit that notification bell if you want to see more videos like this. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, and with all that being said, again, I'm gonna have to see you in the next one.